to break bread, a fake dead, a bit to hate that. 50 million, you died to make that middle. You vote for Trump, see me outside, well, you know what's up. I ain't hearing no peace talk, ain't funny, no hee-haw. Like the Black Panther week to the T, try me weak. Swear to God, I could have been Freddie Gray. Or Mike Brown get down with a homie and a half a blame me by Sandra Bland. Listen, boy, you're challenging with the running man. I was challenging with a hand. What you see before you, what they told you.
Welcome back in, everyone, to EA Sports coverage of the NFL. We're in quarter number 2, and it's the Lions who are in possession of the football. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. A huge play there for Chicago. 57 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bears continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The extra point up and good, and that will extend this big lead. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's Stafford now on second down. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. in for the score. And the Bears capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
But they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, but they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear
that
by the time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
18.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got a man complete. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 55 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deep, and that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bears add on. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And, boy, that one drops incomplete. But if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That and the mean.
Now Trubisky lost the football, and the Lions have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Set 180.
Back to throw, Stafford. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. In for the score. And the Lions take advantage of the turnover to put up 6. On for the point after is Randy Bullock.
I know what the scoreboard says here, but for all those who are playing fantasy football, their scoreboards are different. Points scored could benefit someone.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions defense now back onto the field. And they forced the fumble last time. Now 4 turnovers for this defense. They've been darn good.
It's become a feeding frenzy, hasn't it? I mean, almost like the Sharks. They descend upon their prey. That's what they've done this entire...
He's got daylight. He's at the 30. 10, 5. And he is able to take... this way down into Detroit territory.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here's Trubisky to throw. And, it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, here's Stafford. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
Khalil Mack's starting to get a really big-time reputation as a pass rusher, and rightly so. So explosive off the edge getting to the quarterback. But he doesn't neglect his run duties as well. How about that tackle right there? Such a package he has, able to play the run and the pass so well.
Now Stafford looking for the out route, and he's got more. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions gain a bit of respectability. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now. It's Trubisky. Flushed out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Burton. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Lions have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now it's Trubisky. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Burton. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. They rolled out of the pocket right, and I think he wanted a little something more out of that play, obviously. Instead, he hit a safety valve.
It looked like two well-coached teams there, even though there was no yardage gain, because the offensive guys, hey, they realized their quarterback was out of the pocket. All the receivers went to the right spots.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bears capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
This is taken at the 3. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And Detroit getting set to go now. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Moore. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Stafford now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford is going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's taken down inside the 30. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
This complete left side to Aguilar. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, Stafford. caught. Right side is Jeffrey. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Again, it's Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And Bullock will put this one through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Blue, blue, blue. Hands up.
On first down, Trubisky. And this one is incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up and making sure it was a catch.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now Trubisky to throw. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. In for the score. And the Bears continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Ooh, with a juke. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And Detroit getting set to go now. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it. But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Third and long. It's Stafford. And he's going to go down again.
That right now That's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Here's Sam Martin now, standing just about on his own goal line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And taken right on the 30. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Eluding the pressure right. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Bears add on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. But they're looking for...
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw on 2nd down. Stafford under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. Fielded at the 43. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the
and the ball comes out.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he's to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. is one of our
she's
guys.
singing too.
No, she's
on like the fifth tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he's just saying something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way,
pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Throwing on third and long. Stafford looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Trubisky will throw. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw. This is caught inside the 15. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo
exactly.
going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway. So when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Now, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one.
Taking it right down Broadway. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Bullock good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. the practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game now.
It got his man complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Looky here, Trubisky wants to throw it. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 12. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now it's Stafford. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Adrian Amos with a pick. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offense...
Renegade.